Good morning. You listen to FloorDaily.net, and I'm Kemp Harr. Today I've got two CEOs with me. I've got Piet Dossche, the CEO of Dossche Holdings, and I've got Don Roberts, the CEO of Central Alabama Flooring. Piet represents the supply side of the business and is a retailer in Alabama with 6 locations. How you guys doing?
Doing great.
Doing great.
Good morning, Kemp.
We want to talk today about the Floor Covering Education Foundation and the need for more training and recruitment. Don, why don't you tell us who the FCEF is?
The Floor Covering Education Foundation was started right at the beginning of COVID. We kind of launched, and we looked at who was doing the training of new green installers, and we found that there was a lot of training organizations that were training the experienced people, but not getting a lot of new people into it. So a few of us from the board of directors of the WFCA got together, pushed for some funding, and then went out and met with some of the manufacturers to try to get this thing started, to get it out to the community college and tech school world. The last couple of years now, under Kay Whitener's guidance, we've gotten into a lot of schools. I mean, we're in 49 schools, 45 of which are community colleges or tech schools, 4 of which are high schools. Our goal is to train new people in the trade of flooring. I mean, we compete with all the other trades. We compete with electricians, plumbers, carpenters, welders. Nobody really knew flooring. They're getting a better feel for who flooring is now today. We collect money, we take donations, and we scholarship, and we set up schools. And that's kind of our process.
So you help recruit and train and place installers. And the WFCA actually has told us now for several years that we've got a major shortage of installers. We may not be feeling it right now because the market's soft, but a lot of them are aging out. This could be a serious issue very soon, right?
Our average age of an installer hasn't changed much. We're still in the mid to upper 50s. We are starting to get some young people in, but it's kind of a cycle that's going to, play out here over the next few years if we don't start, getting the replacements in and the younger people.
Today's market conditions are soft, to say the least, and that's why many flooring dealers are not really experiencing this issue of shortage of flooring installers. We know for a fact that pent-up demand is there, and eventually the market will recover, and we will see an increase in our industry. And when demand returns, and it will, the lack of qualified installers will become one of the biggest obstacles to serving customers, growing our business, advancing and securing the well-being of our industry. And that's where the Floor Covering Education Foundation, that's the reason why it has been created and why they have done such a good job so far in basically training all these young people to become flooring installers and to see this flooring installation trade as a meaningful trade whereby they have pride and they're recognized as being a skillful career to have. Earlier this year, in April, I think, or May, there was an announcement from Lowe's. They said they were going to commit $250 million to help train the next generation of tradespeople. They were talking about shortage of plumbers, installers, HVAC technicians, and carpenters. So in the home furnishing industry, they see that eventually there will be need for all these people. And if we're not careful, we will be competing for the same young people to come into our industry and becoming flooring installers, something that we will need to grow our business. We need to realize that if we don't do it today, we're going to be hurt tomorrow. And today is the time to continue to build the foundation that FCEF has so well created and supported and funded and help incentivize young people to see our industry as a fantastic opportunity for them to make a great living and do well for their family.
Piet, I said at the beginning that you represent the supply base, and a lot of people in the business think that the suppliers need to fund this thing, and there are some that are, but the constituent that gains the most from having trained installers is the dealer base. Well, why don't you tell us, Piet? I know Canopy is contributing. Tell us the other suppliers that are contributing to this.
Yeah, if it wouldn't have been for the big manufacturers, the suppliers, FCEF would have never gotten off the ground. The Shaws, the Engineered Floors, Manningtons, Mohawk, they all supported, all came in, they all put a lot of money in the beginning to get this off the ground, and it got it off the ground. If you're a manufacturer and you see that, yes, you're funding, but there is no participation from the retail community that is going to be the beneficiary of this initiative, then of course at the end you say, hey, listen, if they don't care, why should I keep funding this thing by myself? And there has been so many great initiatives and great funding happening since then. I mean, we had a penny for a food program, and there's 3 companies that have stepped up to the plate and said, yes, we are going to pay 1 penny per square foot towards this initiative. That Kali has done that, Leggett and Platt, and IFC with their canopy program. So that has worked. But then you look at the dealer community. Don is an exception. Don is fantastic. He gives $100 per month for each one of his locations. But we have only 30 reoccurring monthly donors or donations from dealers, 30 out of the whole retail community. And the dealers so far on a yearly basis only contribute $52,000, whereby the rest of what I just said, the penny for a food program, the corporate support is a multiple of that number. We have 10,000 retailers in the United States. If 2,500 of those 10,000 retailers would contribute $50 per month, $600 per year, pre-tax, after tax, that is $350 that they would spend towards this program. So $600 per year, 2,500 retailers, that's $1.5 million that would come into that FCEF kitty, and it would do wonders for industry because we would be able to triple the amount of people that we can certify and get ready for when the market returns and keep our industry going. I don't understand why the retail community is not really stepping up to the plate.
I look at these dealers. I said, all of us have got a really nice life. Our families have had a really nice life in the flooring business. I look at dealers and I talk to them all the time. $100 a month. Is that critical to your business? You're in the wrong business. We're scholarshiping these kids because we're trying to get them in so that they don't have to pay a bunch of money to go through schooling and come out with debt and everything else.
Let's say we're successful here with both of your all's passion, and somebody wants to give now. FCEF.org. Is that what's the best way to give?
FCEF.org. Absolutely. And there's a tab on there for donate. It's very easy. You can make it reoccurring. You can make a one-time lump sum.
It's a bottleneck right now, and the market will turn back to what it's supposed to be. We have a wonderful industry. We're all passionate about it. It has done very well for us. The market breaks loose, and we're standing there looking at each other and say, well, who's going to install all this for us? If we don't do it now, we will miss the boat, and we will be standing there when the market comes back, looking at each other and say, well, why don't we have the people to do what needs to be done? It's an investment in the future.
The Floor Covering Education Foundation is there for everybody, big or small. The guys like Lowe's and Home Depot and Florida Core, Menards, they've got the money. They're going to figure it out for themselves. We got to take some pride in that, and we need to step up.
All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you spending time with us, and I think we've gotten a clear message that this needs to be funded by the dealer base. Again, been talking to Piet Dossche and Don Roberts, and you've been listening to Kemp Harr and FloorDaily.net.